Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
Happy
Humpty Dumpty Day. Our joyous one it is. Let's talk about Hump Day for a minute.
Yeah, let's talk about Hump Day.
When did you first hear that term, Hump Day? Do you remember?
I don't remember. No, I don't recall.
Did you know the first time you heard it that it was associated with Wednesdays?
No, I would have thought Humpty Dumpty.
Did you know why it was associated with Wednesdays?
No, why?
No, I didn't either.
No.
It took me a while before I even asked about it.
Okay.
I heard it. I guess I was in Wilmington. But the folks talking about Hump Day were excited to go from Wilmington, if you can believe that, to Jacksonville. They were excited on Hump Days to come to Jacksonville. And yes, before you ask, it was the single ladies who were looking forward to Hump Days in Jacksonville. I learned that a couple bars, one was something called the Thunderbird,
I remember the Thunderbird.
had Hump Day specials
We had security
back in
there,
the
yeah.
80s or something like that.
I remember the Thunderbird.
Such was my first introduction to Hump Days. Good Hump Day to y'all. I'm Rayford Brown, and this, my Humpy friends, is live and local real talk, and we dare you, no, we double D dare you to call in to chat about whatever is floating your boat. And if you prefer triple D, maybe you're high and dry, some challenge, it's all on you. Give us a call.
Triple D?
Why not? Are you exasperated with me yet?
Everything's normal. Good morning. I'm Lee Barrows, and happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's Vet Day.
It's Vet Day. Veterans?
No,
The other vet.
the other dog, Jack, and the cat, who's
Uh-huh.
in the other room screaming, they have to go in this morning. I have to go drop them off. It's dental.
Dental
Yeah, the one visit a year is dental, so you have to take them in early and leave them.
Right? Double D?
Well,
Dental Day.
Yeah, dental. So anyway, it's been a morning already trying to corral them and keep them calm.
Uh-oh.
And
Who we
we
got?
already have a caller. I'm going to say it's probably Charlie.
And it is a good hump day. Good morning. How are you?
That was quite the intro.
Did you like our
that
music?
You guys had.
Yeah.
No. Here's what's interesting. I was watching like hardcore, like
Watch.
AC/DC
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
and other music, and I had like 5 or 6 different tabs open, but I had your guys' tab open.
And
And then
we
when
got
I
you.
heard your intro, I'm like, oh, I didn't know AC/DC did a song like that. And I said, where is this coming from? I'm like, okay, so I closed one tab. I'm like, well, what else? Is it Marilyn Manson? What other kind of demonic,
Demonic?
intro?
That wasn't
I'm not even
demonic.
making it up.
I thought it was
They're
cool.
not demonic. What up? But when I finally clicked off everything and I opened up, I'm like, what's going on there? You guys have a couple drinks? Or
No, not yet. I'm just taking, well, I got some pills and stuff, but that's for this, if you can see it, and other areas,
Was that
including,
the first time
including
you
a tooth.
used that intro?
No, we use it every day for the last 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, I really
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty interesting, actually. I got a kick. I've never heard that intro.
I kind of liked it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I think it's
And,
cool.
and the part that really applies to us, we rewrite whatever.
The rules. That's right.
We
We do.
rewrite the rules. We make them up
We
as we
do.
go along.
No, that was interesting. No, that's all I have to say. I mean, I guess I don't watch your intros. I just happen to be up right now. And I heard that, and I'm like, wow, AC/DC. I've never heard that. I've never heard that song.
So we woke your
Anyway,
butt
I'll
up,
come
didn't
back.
we?
You guys have a good show.
You
Thank
too,
you.
Charlie. Thank you.
What does it even mean? When you think of a hump, you think of a camel. And what does a camel have? Like a lower hump, a middle high hump, and a lower
Some
hump?
of them have 2 humps, some of them have 1 humps. There are Indian camels and African camels. I forgot which one has the two humps.
Where does it originate from? What does it mean?
Hump day?
Hump day.
Because it's the middle of the week. Because it's between this and that, and so we're over the hump, as they say, when you get to Wednesday. Headed for the weekend. Everybody's planning on the weekend.
When does the first day of the week start?
Depends upon where you are. If it's a work week in this country, it's generally on Monday.
Yeah, I've never had a job where somebody I walked in the office and they're like, "Happy Hump Day," and if they said that, I probably would just like not want to associate with them.
I cannot remember a job except in high school where I worked 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. That was the only time I ever remember working Monday through Friday. Was at that time.
Hey, you used to be a sheriff. Were you a sheriff?
Nope, I was the popo. I was the police.
Did you hear what those little silly officers in Orange County, California did a couple months ago?
Well, there's no telling. It's Orange County.
Well, no, they were in the parking garage and they were all just hanging out.
The idiots pull the gun and shoot and points at somebody and shoots them. What in the world?
Former police officer.
Did the bullet go through the windshield?
Well, here's the thing. When the training that you get is literally, but you got to put some common sense behind that training. If you pull your weapon and point it, you're supposed to be prepared to shoot it. Well, you are, but that doesn't mean you pull the trigger. There is that last ditch little safety called your brain.
You never pull a gun unless you're using it for defense or vice or something.
Listen. One of my old neighbors, he was a police officer. He's goofing around, pulling his gun on me. Hey, you see that story also in California? Where was it? It was in Canoga Park, California. Officers responded to this woman celebrating the Knicks game. Did you see that story?
No.
She was celebrating the New York Knicks, and I think she was with her
in California.
And maybe it was with her lover. So anyway, I guess one of the neighbors called the police, and they said there was some sort of commotion going on. Mm-hmm. It was just her and her sister celebrating the Knicks. I guess they're from New York. So I guess the police showed up. She opened the door, and her maybe 6-pound cockapoo got out, and the cops shot it.
Shot the dog?
And why?
Yeah, it's on the news. But I was thinking, you think about all the post-traumatic stress that they talk about veterans go through. I mean, listen, if you're someone that served in a war country and you served your war, you're going to have PTSD. Now, if you went in the Army and you worked an office job and you stayed in California, Newport Beach, you're not going to have a lot of PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD is what they call it. Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. Cops have more PTSD than any veteran. The stuff that they experience.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Those guys that I've known in combat who have stayed in combat, like the Tet offenses in Vietnam for the Marines there, 30 days. 30 days.
Yeah, the ones that served, yes. The ones that served, yes, they have the experience of killing people. But when a cop wakes up every day and pulls someone over, he doesn't know if this person's going to pull out a gun and shoot him or her. They don't know that. They don't know if they're going to approach somebody in the store and they're going to get violently attacked. They always have to be on the guard. And that creates a psychological thing inside your brain. No. I respect, So I just think that more, when we talk about veterans, they also need to talk about police officers and what they experience. Mm-hmm. So, but, I mean, the dog that was killed, it was horrible. It's like a 4 or 5 pound dog. How do you shoot the dog? I mean, how do you look at the dog and say, this is a threat to my safety. It may kill me. So obviously it was a knee jerk reaction, but it's kind of sad. It's just like a cute little, the dog looks like a waffle.
If a dog, let's say a 7 or 8 pound dog, and that's a small dog, mine's a little bit bigger than that. He weighs almost 10 pounds. So that's not a big dog. But if that dog is trained, and it comes out and grabs your ankle and starts biting and holding and, trying to get you down, what do you do? How do you get rid of that dog?
Well, but 4 or 5 pound dog isn't going to take you down.
Yeah, well, cockapoo, you don't think about whether they're going to take you down or not. You're thinking about the teeth that are inside your flesh. Would you think it differently if somebody was stabbing you in the ankle with a knife or an ice
I
pick?
guess you're right. No, I get it. Yeah, but I get it.
But I understand.
Yeah.
I think these people who are not dog people, police officers, or anybody else who's not a dog person, they might not understand how little this sucker is and how you can grab him by the throat and hold on to him.
Little dogs can be vicious.
They can be vicious, but
Ask a milk carrier.
yeah, you.
Yes.
But
that's gotta be.
I mean, I've constrained dogs. I've really, you know, but you know, I can constrain men. I have constrained men. I've constrained women. I've constrained dogs. You know, whatever. But
now, being a mail carrier, when you walk up to a gate and you open it up and you walk up to the mailbox, that's got to be a very dangerous job because you don't know what's going to potentially.
You don't know what's in the mailbox. Number one, I don't like mail. I don't like closed containers.
I had a German Shepherd chase me once. Thank goodness I saw him, and he came out from behind a house and was all teeth and started running, and I ran, and thank goodness the window was down on my vehicle because I dove through it. I didn't take time to open the door.
That would have been fun to see.
Scared.
Now, you know the difference in your German Shepherd and the cop canine? That cop canine will come in the window after you.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't want to do that.
Well, I was
Stand still and say, please.
I was rolling that window.
I got one last question, then I have to go.
Speak.
Do either one of you ever have a memory, an early childhood memory of milk being delivered to your home?
Absolutely.
My mother worked for that mail and milk company here in Jacksonville, so she was always bringing home milk and butter and
the way it was delivered to normal people who didn't have somebody in the milk department.
Yeah, there was
the milkman came.
Yes.
You heard the door open. He knocked on the door, same time, 3 days a week. Knocked on the door, opens the door, says, "Milkman," and comes in, goes to the refrigerator, and delivers glass bottles of milk and puts them in the refrigerator.
He walked in your home?
Absolutely he did.
That's the way it was back in the day. It was way before me. But
we had to make sure the door was unlocked at 7 o'clock or whatever time he came calling.
I never knew.
Oh, yeah. 50s and 60s, that was the common way to deliver milk.
Right.
And let me tell you something else. You want the first glass of milk out of that bottle.
It's so
cold.
Yes.
So at what time do they normally come? Like 7 or 8 or 9?
Anywhere between 7 and 9 o'clock. Just depends upon what on the route we were. We were on the route, and we knew what time he was coming. We had to have the door unlocked.
Hold on. Did he knock on the door first and wait for you to open it? Or
heavens no. He knocked as he was opening the door. Knock, open the door. Milkman!
No, if it was me,
seriously, that's the way it was.
I would probably just be out of the shower. It would be my luck.
A lot of women did that on purpose.
What?
A lot of babies look like the milkman.
So that's where that came from.
That's so bizarre. I never knew. I think somebody just left it at the front stoop or door, whatever it's called.
They will if the door is locked. There are some people that were not comfortable. Now, there was also, you could get, I don't know whether you had to get it from the milk guy or the company or buy it yourself, but some people had a cooler, in effect a cooler, a big metal, stainless steel looking, it was probably aluminum, but I just remember it being very shiny. Out on the front porch or the back porch, generally, on the back porch, and the milkman would come there, put your milk in. The number of bottles he put in of milk depended upon the number of bottles that he took out that were empty. If you had drunk 3 bottles, then he left you 3 new bottles. If you only drank 2 bottles, and you had 2 bottles there, he left you 2 new bottles. That's the way the system, and that's what you were billed for.
I got one last question. Do you know of anybody in your community or you guys that still leave their doors unlocked?
I do not know anybody who does.
I
but
don't
if
know
they do, I
anybody.
wouldn't tell them. I wouldn't tell anybody because they're dumb.
Yeah.
I lock my doors when I'm home.
I do too. 24/7.
Well, that's all I got. I like that milk story.
Okay.
I never knew that. I never knew
it is a fact, Jack. I remember it vividly.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Just real quick, hump day refers to Wednesday, the midpoint of the work week, symbolizing the hump one must get over before the weekend. The term hump day originated in North America in the mid-20th century, with the earliest recording use dating back to 1955. It became more widely recognized in the 1960s, particularly in business office settings.
Yeah, well, I don't remember the 60s. I remember it in the 70s or 80s.
All I ever remember is, will this day ever end? You know.
So we can get on plans for the weekend. We got things to do. Hurry up.
Right. Well, I don't
That's
know.
what it
I
was
was
all
generally
about.
working on the weekends too. So
There are a lot of stories floating around the networks on honest to goodness, real honest to goodness news sites, but you got to talk about some of the other stories closer to home that should disturb y'all as much as they do me. A 47-year-old man is in jail, and no bondsman nor amount of cash can get him out.
no,
Good.
good.
He appeared in court yesterday because lawmen say they found him to be in possession of what we call kiddie porn. That's filthy material involving sexual activity with people who are under the age of consent. How does that? Is that a good definition for you?
Filthy thug.
You got that? The man in question is Christopher Dunlap. He's innocent until proven guilty. He's an Onslow County resident, and he faces 30 counts of second-degree exploitation of a minor. The warrants say that Dunlap, who lives in Midway Park, had videos of girls between, sit down and hold on to your drawers, 2 years of age and 16 years of age, engaging in some sort of sexual perversion.
Where's my baseball bat?
Joy, are you listening? The warrants say that the man had videos of girls between 2 years of age and 16 years of age engaging in some sort of sexual perversion. Authorities received a cyber tip leading them to conduct an investigation. That led them to search his home. Onslow County authorities, along with agents from the North Carolina Bureau of Investigation, that's commonly referred to as the SBI, NCIS, along with Homeland Security investigators, were involved in the search. Oh, that ought to be very If found guilty, Dunlap faces a very long time in prison with some very bad people.
Do they have a special section of the prison where they put all the
General pop.
perverts at? They just intermingle with them.
Now we slide on over to Goldsboro. Police there have arrested a 55-year-old man. These 47 and 55-year-old people are what?
Wait. Now I'm going to Goldsboro tomorrow. Tell me now.
He's in jail.
Okay.
A 55-year-old man on charges of taking indecent liberties on 3 children.
What?
James Phillips faces 4 charges in connection with the allegations that police say involve children who were
autistic,
7, 8, and 13 years of age.
Talk about developmental issues.
7, 8, and 13 years of age. He's 55.
He's 50.
His bond was set at $250,000, secured, meaning it takes real dollars to get him out. Mr. Phillips has a history with the North Carolina Department of Corrections, a few worthless checks back then, several burglaries, several communicating threats, and, of course, drug felonies.
What is it? It seemed like over the last 6 months, it's been blossoming.
Well, the police are getting great information. These cyber tips that they get they have cyber tip organizations, agencies, lawmen. They got police posing as children.
Yes,
online.
yes, they do that. Yes, they do that.
Hey, I'm a 13-year-old girl.
It just seems like maybe we're just hearing it more, but it just seems like it's become an epidemic. It probably always has been.
It is an epidemic.
It's just disgusting.
For a long time. It's just hard to catch because people don't talk about it.
You're not man enough to get a woman. You have to go pick on children. Don't get
I'm just saying. Let's take a look at the marine forecast. Glad the Big Rock tournament was last week. That's all I can say. There's a weak wave of low pressure along a stalled frontal boundary, and that's what's it's responsible for those scattered showers and thunderstorms we've had. Stronger cold front is forecast to approach area waters Thursday and Friday with another round of showers and a bit of a risk of gales out beyond 20 nautical miles today. Up to 60 nautical miles offshore. Westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming southwesterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gust up to 30. Seas 4 to 6 feet. There's a chance of thunderstorm. Showers are likely, mainly this morning. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, gust to 30, seas 5 to 6 feet. Going to get worse Friday. Southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 30, with seas 5 to 7 feet. Showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms. If you were bound and determined, maybe we'll call it B&D these days. Sounds a bit kinky, I guess, to go fishing. Stay on the mainland side of the inlets. Lots of fish hang out in the intercoastal waterway and the rivers and creeks along our coast, and that ocean and the inlets are going to be treacherous.
Did you say B&D?
Yeah, bound and determined.
Oh.
Your mind is in the gutter.
we go from perverts to B&D, and I didn't know if I had lost something in the translation.
Just
transition.
go ahead and give the weather, and then I'll continue.
Okay, today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 87. Southwest wind 5 to 7 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 73. Thursday, sunny with a high near 95 and heat index values as high as 100. Thursday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, low around 73. And Friday, Juneteenth, which is going to ruin a lot of outdoor celebration, showers and thunderstorms, high near 89. And right now, we're looking at an 80% chance of some good heavy rain on Friday. So maybe they can move some of these festivities to Saturday, because Saturday will be nice.
I hope they do, because they don't want to lose this.
Yes.
There's a potential tropical cyclone number 1. It's a what they call disturbance. Right now, it's in Texas, on the coast of Texas, southern Texas. Sustained winds of 30 miles per hour. Movement towards the northeast at 5 knots, about 6 miles per hour. And the minimum central pressure is 1,003 millibars. That's low. And as it gets lower, it will indicate some sort of strengthening. So we're waiting to see some more information about it. When it gets up and traveling northeast, it should put it up towards the coast and along the coast of Louisiana, and that's when they're concerned about it going into the Gulf of America,
right,
over very warm waters, with some possibility of strengthening. Of course, that's what they're looking at. That's what their concern is. Whether it will happen or not, don't really know. There are some advisories have been issued, and all sorts of stuff like that. So we'll bring you some more.
It's going to bring us some rain. So
yeah, well, it's likely to bring some rains, as long as we don't have the wind and the flooding that these things can sometimes bring.
If I hear anybody
complain about the wind,
about the rain,
no,
please come see me.
We're okay with the rain right now.
We're okay with it,
but enough will be enough if but it will move on. It's not. Hopefully, it won't be something that just hangs around and does whatever.
Well, I know you have Dr. Rose calling in shortly, and then at 8 o'clock we have U.S. Senate candidate Michael Whatley, who's going to be calling. And I'm going to run out real quick because I have 2 animals I have to take to the vet and drop off, and then I'll be back. But look, everybody, Tom, you included, I put our call-in number up here. So y'all call in and keep Rayford company, because it'll take me about 20 minutes.
Otherwise, I got a joke to tell you.
Oh my gosh! I have a cat and a dog.
From my friend Drew.
I love that joke. Now there was one number, I think maybe
one of them I'm gonna leave alone.
Yes, but other than that, it's good. So
I'm just gonna make you saying, "Oh Lord, oh Lord,"
and I'll be like,
Lord,
I'd be so embarrassed if you did that one. All right, let me grab the cat.
The dude writes, and then this is a joke, y'all. After I retired, my wife insisted that I accompany her on her trips to Target and other stores too, I'm sure. Unfortunately, like most men, I found shopping boring and preferred to get in and out of the store. Equally, unfortunately, my wife is like most women. She loves to browse. Browse is called shopping, or shopping is actually browsing in a lot of cases. Yesterday, My dear wife got received a letter from the local Target store. It said, "Dear Mrs. Harris," I guess their name is Harris. Poor doggy jumped out of the chair. "Dear Mrs. Harris, over the past 6 months, your husband has caused quite a commotion here in our store. We cannot tolerate this behavior and have forced to ban both of you from the store." Doggone it. Our complaints against your husband, Mrs. Harris, are listed below and are documented by our video surveillance cameras on the 15th of June. He took 24 boxes of condoms and randomly put them in other people's carts when they weren't looking. On the 2nd of July, a few weeks later, he set all the alarm clocks and housewares to go off at 5-minute intervals. I like that. On July 7th, he made a trail. No, that's the one I won't do. On July 19th, he walked up to an employee and told her in an official voice, "Code 3 in housewares. Get on it right away." This caused the employee to leave her assigned station and receive a reprimand from her supervisor that in turn resulted with a union grievance, causing management to lose time and costing the company money. And by the way, we don't have a Code 3. August 4th, went to the service desk and tried to put a bag of M&Ms on layaway. August 14th, moved a caution wet floor side to a carpeted area. I like that too. August 15th, he set up a tent in the camping department and told the children shoppers there he'd invite them in if they would bring pillows and blankets from the bedding department, to which 20 of them obliged. All children. August 23rd, when a clerk asked if they could help him, he began crying and screamed, "Why can't you people just leave me alone?" EMTs were called. September 4th, looked right into the security camera and used it as a mirror while he picked his nose. The 10th of September, while handling guns in the hunting department, he asked the clerk where the antidepressants were located. On the 3rd of October, darted around the store suspiciously while loudly humming the Mission Impossible theme. On October 6th, in the auto department, he practiced his Madonna look using different sizes of funnels. October 18th, hid in a clothing rack, and when people browsed through, he yelled, "Pick me, pick me." On the 22nd of October, when an announcement came over the loudspeaker, he assumed a fetal position and screamed, "Oh no, it's those voices again." He then took a box of condoms to the checkout clerk and asked, "Where is the fitting room?" And then, last but not least, went into a fitting room, shut the door, waited for a while, then yelled very loudly, "Hey, there's no toilet paper in here." A clerk passed out. So, Ms. Harris, he's banned and you're banned too. You can't come back to the store. To me, I thought that was all funny. 910-333-0139. We're expecting a call here from Dr. Rose in just a couple of seconds. When we come back, after talking with a good doctor, there's a lot of serious stuff we've got to deal with. And one of those involves a planned drone attack Sunday or over the weekend at the White House. Now, this is a serious situation. What occurred? It's a very serious situation. What it could have been a disaster. Thank goodness the FBI was there, and they were able to they got hold of intel, and they interceded before anything could happen. It involved drones and explosives and an attack on a White House lawn event, which would have just added to the mayhem that these individuals were apparently planning. And at the head of it was a 19-year-old, or not, maybe he was the leader, but if not, he was way up there. A 19-year-old. And we've got this kind of activity going on. People out there who could barely vote, barely probably know anything, to be honest with you, about what's going on in the world of politics or how this nation even runs. They certainly don't know anything about the history of this country. And they certainly have absolutely zero respect for this country. Are out there planning things like this. That really, really is irritating. There are men and women who have died. I know some who've died to protect you, protect these idiots, just to protect these idiots, to allow them to have a life that they have. They allow them to go out to make plots against this country. And when you make plots against the president of this country, you're plotting an overthrow of this country. If you think you can do it with drones that are loaded with explosives, no. Punks, you cannot. And hopefully, punks, you will find justice inside the system. It's irritating that there are individuals like that running around this nation. Irritating more so that even when these individuals are caught, they don't get the justice they deserve. They get a slap on the wrist. Even if a judge decides you need to spend the rest of your life behind bars, there are going to be the liberal-leaning Looney Tunes out there, the bleeding hearts, who will, a year, 2, 5 years, 10 years down the road, will forget all about who they are and what they really did, what they could have done, what kind of grief that they caused for a lot of folks in this nation, what kind of fear they caused. And they're turned them loose and say, okay, you've paid your debt to society. Now go out and be nice and earn a living. They're scum. They need to go away for life. They do. They just should not be walking our streets with normal people. We as a society, really, we can stop it. We have the ability to stop it. We have the ability to call the police if we know or suspect these individuals, any individuals, your neighbors, your relatives, whoever, of doing plotting stuff like this. It's best to do this now than to have to tell some media guy in the after the fact, oh yeah, he was a weird acting person all his life, and I knew he was going to do something like this. No, you tell the police now what he's doing. If you don't want to talk to the police, you have decent information. And I'm getting ready to call about something that I know is going on. I've got to wait to, hopefully today I'll have a tag number. But there's things that are happening. I want them to know about it. You can call if you don't want to let everybody know who you are at the police station. You can call Crime Stoppers. Look them up. Give them a call. They're all over Facebook, just everywhere else. You can call the Crime Stoppers number, and they will give you a code number. And you can make these calls anonymously, and you possibly can make a big difference in this world. That's what this is all about. Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. I hope you all are.
Well, we're doing fine. You know, I kind of look like a Band-Aid commercial for the past few days, but bandages here, bandages there.
Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, a wolverine got me. It came out of the woods, and we had a battle, but I think I lost. But the Band-Aid people won. I got to stock up the first aid kit again. No,
I didn't know you had wolverines in eastern North Carolina.
That's a better story than what happened. So I made it up. What do you think?
I thought it might have been a tad made up.
Yeah, well, it's a made up. Anyway, I had some rotten boards. A bunch of rotten boards on a little walkway type deck that we built 10, 15 years ago. And so we decided to replace them. And I have a guy doing it, but I was carrying stuff across, and I just tried to step around some of the stuff, and I went through, and I went down. So I got scratches and bruises, and and I thought I had stopped all the bleeding. This happened Saturday, but I was dripping blood last night, so I had to rebandage one of them.
Well, I guess we all have to be a little careful, but I'm glad that it wasn't any worse than it was. It could have been a lot worse, I guess.
I think a nice, really rare steak can replenish my blood supply. What do you think?
I think that might be a good thing. You could do like Fred Flintstone and put that nice cold steak over some of those bruises.
No, well, I used a cold pack that we keep in the freezer for things like that. Now, believe it or not, we have a freezer stacked with cold packs. So that not if, but when either my wife or I have an ache or a pain or whatever, guess what happens? We pull it out.
Well, there you go.
And I found something disturbed me the other day, and I'm not sure about my wife at times. There was hanging on the door of the refrigerator a big sock. And I'm like, okay, she just didn't get it when she did the laundry. I didn't say anything about it until yesterday when I saw her pick it up, and I looked and waited, and she pull one of those cold packs out and put it in the sock. That's what the sock was there for, to put the cold pack in so it could use it on the skin without it burning the cold. Those cold packs will burn your skin.
I think that was a fabulous idea. Now that you say that, it's like, whoa, I don't know that that's disturbing. I thought that was smart.
It was very smart, but when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, what's this sock out here for, honey? I didn't ask her. I just waited. I figured I'd find out sooner or later. Yeah. So I feel good about it. I might put another one out there just in case I need 2 cold packs.
There you go. Sometimes men just sit back and watch.
Yeah, don't ask questions. Just wait.
Yep, you did good.
Hey, thank you. I will tell her. Well, she probably is listening and laughing right now, so it's okay. So, okay. Doc, what's going on in the world of medical needs for little children?
Not much going on. We spent a few days over in the coast on Bald Head Island.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of wee ones since, I guess, last Thursday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there wasn't much going on in the clinic, not too much illness. Even when I'm not there, I always call in to check on them and see what questions they have about the little ones. But there were not a lot of questions, and there were not a lot of sick ones either.
Oh, that's always good. Hey, you're talking about when you're on vacation or if you're on a cruise. I don't know whether you take cruises or not. When you're on vacation, do you let people know that you're a doctor where you go so that just in case something happens?
No, I don't. But people will, if an accident happens, people will say, you can see it, so you're there.
you're going to respond. It has
happened to me.
I bet it has happened.
Yeah. So, I carry my stethoscope and my otoscope everywhere I go.
So that must be kind of rough in the pools.
I don't carry it into those pools or to the beach, but it's always packed up in my suitcase. We've gotten asked to help several times in the plane.
It's kind of called tools of the trade, right?
I guess so. But you can't do much if you can't listen to a person's heart. So the stethoscope's always there.
Yeah. That you are a first responder. You just don't know it. But doctors are first responders. Whenever something happens and they're there, then go for it. I agree with you. I've been to a lot of wrecks, of course, in my life, and there's quite often there's a doctor or a nurse will stop and say, "Hey, whatever.
That's right.
I'm here. Can I help? Do you need some assistance?" And I've never seen an emergency first responder like an EMS guy. I've never seen them refuse assistance from a doctor.
I've had them say, "We have it. It's okay. Thank you so much."
Well, I'm talking about if it's a real case. These guys, you put Band-Aids on and move them on. That's one thing, but it's always good to know there's a real doctor there who can do life support as well, and if not better, that you can do it.
Yeah, and we're trained in that. So yes, I've had occasions where we have been taken up on. Okay, I'm a doctor, guys. If there's anything I can do, but occasionally it will happen on a plane. Like they'll ask, "Is there a doctor or a paramedic here?" And so it's good to be able to help a fellow human being.
We were coming back from Bonaire diving on our dive trip some years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, and we just taken off and we were climbing, and we got up to a certain altitude, and there's a lady there. She was beginning to have pains and some pretty serious pains, and the flight attendant came rushing. It was real close to where we were sitting, and then the pilot. Somebody ran to the pilot or got on the phone to the pilot, and the pilot asked if there was a doctor in the house. And one of the guys jumped up, and first thing he asked her, because we were sitting close by, he said, "Are you a diver?" She said, "Yes." "When was the last time you were diving?" "This morning." And the call goes out to the pilot. We had to drop down to below 10,000 feet to fly for a while. You don't dive and then fly. That is bad for you. There are
That's
things
good
that,
to know.
yet there are things that, well, every diver that's trained knows that. And I don't know what in the Sam Hill she was thinking. But anyway, don't move, but we flow at low level.
That was an easy fix, wasn't it?
Oh, an easy fix, but we had to land and she had to get off. So our flight was took a little bit longer and she had to get a ride home from somewhere else. Not my problem. The cab's you call a cab.
I guess she didn't follow the diving instructions, but maybe her instructor didn't tell her.
Oh, they're told because it's on the test.
Oh.
Yeah,
maybe she thought they were kidding.
You can give all the excuses you want, but there were no reasons for that. Excuses and reasons are two different things.
Well, that's good to know.
Anyway,
follow that instruction for sure.
Yeah, summer is here, and vacations are here, and people are going here, there, and everywhere. What you have any particular words of wisdom to deal with the kiddies who are out of school and they may either be traveling or stuck at home, or what? If kids are stuck at home alone, you don't want them out like we used to be able to do, get out and play in the yard and play in the street, and because we knew better. But some kids today just don't know better, and who knows what's going to happen, right?
That is really so. We've already had our share of accidents at home because kids get much more curious and bored, and they do a lot with that boredom. So we had a couple of kids swallow some objects that shouldn't be in there, and there they were in the emergency room. So watch over those kiddies real well because they tend to get into more trouble because they're bored.
And lock your pills away, whatever they are.
Yeah, it's not just things that you would expect in the summer. A lot of it is also just the kids being bored and getting into trouble that they don't ordinarily get into.
Yeah, little rugrats, I understand. But the drugs are a key because, I mean, and particularly if you got older, parents getting older, or they get injuries and they got pills and they pills for their pain and they got this, but you can get a lot of over-the-counter stuff that's kind of powerful stuff out there. As far as like even Tylenol, you take a few of those and crush them up, you might have a real problem on your hands, especially for little
Tylenol,
kids.
Motrin, Benadryl, all of those things can hurt a kid's system. You got to be real careful with any of those. But remember that grandparents come over.
That's the thing.
And grandparents in their home, they're not careful about where they put their meds because they don't need to. And so you'll find yourself with some medications that can cause a lot, like blood pressure medications. Those are notoriously the most famous ones for causing a lot of harm.
My wife has just joined us. Lee has gone to take her doggie and a cat to a vet, and just put those on. That's right. And anyway, my wife has come down here to say hi, to keep me company while Lee is gone. I don't know whether you've met Robbie or not, Doctor. This is Robbie.
Yes, I believe
we have met. Yeah, we met at a couple of meetings.
Yeah, Dr. Rose. Anyway, we're talking about kids and parents and leaving their homes, leaving the kids in charge or whatever, and while they're on vacationing or having to work during the summertime. So that's one of the things you had. You got left home from time to time when you were a kid, and you had a swimming pool too, right?
Yeah, we did.
But you didn't know how to swim.
Yeah, well, I've been swimming since I was probably a year old.
Yeah,
in some form or other.
Actually, teaching
swimming.
That's
a great thing to bring up. That all children should know how to swim.
Yeah.
Once they turn 2 or 3, or they can walk. If children walk, they should know how to swim because you never know where life is going to take them, and they do funny things. They fall, and if they have that instinct, that they will be able to protect themselves. And the other thing is that the age to learn how to swim is when you're young. It just comes naturally to you. There's very little chance of sinking unless you're sleeping. If you know how to swim, you just do it naturally, almost in your sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to do with the kiddies. If your children have not learned how to swim this summer, this is the summer to do it because it can be a life-saving event for your children or your grandchildren to learn how to swim.
We don't have a real this year. We will have after the fall, but because the YMCA is building a pool here, much to the chagrin of a couple people and to the pleasure of a lot of the rest of us, and they're going to be offering swimming to every second grader, period, bottom line. That will be part of the
Fabulous.
free course. Second grade, perfect. First grade, probably not quite as organized and getting them in line at the right time and doing the right stuff. But second grade is probably a good time. And Robbie taught a lot of kids how to swim. You taught most of Jacksonville how to swim.
During the period of time that I was teaching. Yeah.
I don't know how many people that I've run across over the years since we've been married and before. We go out somewhere and say, "Aren't you Robbie? You taught us to swim."
Oh, that is really
they're
sweet.
50 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot overemphasize the importance of teaching children how to swim. That's a great thing that you did. You have no idea how many lives you saved.
That's the
And
point.
they might just tell you that. That's why they remember that and how important it was. And they might even figure out how to swim well enough and confidently enough to be able to help another child when they're not swimming well, and that kid feels like they're sinking. So you might have even saved a kid's life indirectly. But that is a really, really important skill to make sure that our children and our grandchildren know how to swim.
Yeah. Well, she did good. She taught my daughter to swim. So that was one thing too.
Yeah.
Granddaughter. Yeah, granddaughter to swim. Taught her how to swim, that's for sure. But she did not want to get in the water. Oh,
Yeah.
no, she didn't want to do that. But she learned.
She did.
Once you learn how to swim, you're much more confident in the water, and it's a sport that you start enjoying again
Yeah.
as a kid.
I really like for kids to be comfortable in the water and have fun, first of all, so that they are comfortable and they're not fearful. Because so many of the kids that would come to me from this area were terrified because parents were worried that they were going to drown. So the first step was getting past that and then getting them comfortable.
Yeah, back in my day, the old adage was, my grandparents would say, I throw them off into the water, tell them to swim or drown. They'll go. No, not a problem.
Yeah. Well, and
yeah, that's a method, but I think that building that confidence is even better.
Yep.
Anyway, what else do we need to worry about this summer with the children? Obviously, we figured out we need to keep them busy, but there are other situations we need to worry about. Online predators, for one thing. I just had a story about one this morning. He had 30 counts against him, and he's 47 years old, so they got him good.
Terrible. Yeah. We just shouldn't be leaving children with devices for a long time unsupervised.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do it the kids will do it in the moment, and the predator will do it in less than that time.
Yeah.
So that we need to be really careful. These children that are just walking around on their tablets, hitting little buttons, it's a very, very scary thing to me.
Yeah.
But we just need to be much more involved. I'd rather have the children off the tablet and reading some good old books that exercises the brain. It can teach you to go far, far away into a world of their imagination instead of somebody else's imagination.
Yeah. Well, if they around here, if they can't get to the library, stop by here because Robbie has about 87 bookshelves full of books.
not so much anymore.
God, she's got books up the yin yang for kids, and it's pretty cool looking through the old books here. And those are the ones that would be really good for the kids to read, to be honest with you.
Yeah, those are the ones. I kept
Stories.
my ones from childhood.
Yeah.
I used to read under the covers after I was supposed to be asleep with a flashlight.
Every kid did that. I looked at Popular Electronics under the covers. I'll never forget that.
If only our children were doing the same kind of mischief that we were when we were doing things like that.
Yeah, we thought it was bad. We were told, but that's all right.
It's a little like what you said about swimming. You have to make them feel comfortable. You can't just think that they're going to grab a book. You have to start reading it to them and saying, when I was a kid, and going to the library with them and having them pick out 2 the first time, 3 the next time, and making it a weekly event this summer.
And knowing
so that your so that your children get used to and then start acquiring the love for reading.
Yeah, you have to know
too little of that.
You have to know what their interests are too, so you can early on give them books that are going to pique their interest, and then they'll branch out themselves. Yeah.
They like cars. They like race cars.
Yep.
They like diving. They like traveling. Kids just intuitively like certain things, and if we build on that thing that they talk about that they love, animals, girls love animals, and they want to grow up to be vets. So we have a book, a Lassie book, a book on a girl who used to help at a zoo, for example. Those are things that are fabulous.
Black Beauty.
Oh, yes, that's
National Velvet. I mean, think about those stories.
Yeah. I still have Tom Sawyer. And
oh, God, yes.
All the classics are still on my bookshelves. They're falling apart, but they're still on my bookshelf.
I remember seeing the movies on with Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, both of the two different movies that were out. Oh, classic movies. I need to find them again. Yeah. But I could look for them.
Those personalities would come to life in our heads. We have to build that again. Okay. Dave and I think about this all the time. If we don't do something to change it, we could be doing all these things to save, the America 20 years from now. But if we don't save ourselves from within and make sure that we build our children back up, we're doing all of this for nothing. Yeah. So we just have to get, down and dirty and start making sure that we're spending our time on our children.
Yeah, you said something that sparked something in my head about when you read, you're creating the scenarios in your head. It teaches you to be able to see things in your head. And that's part of problem solving, is being able to see something and be able to solve it and sort of work that out internally before you sit and mess with it too much. And they don't have that.
No, they don't.
No, if they're not good readers, they don't have that.
Not so much.
It's just like swimming. You have to build the next level of swimming.
Yes.
On the basics of swimming. Well, you can't build that next level of being able to read and create if you don't do the basic phonetic reading.
Correct.
Dr. Rose, thank you. We do appreciate your time this morning, as always.
Thank you so much. It was nice talking with Miss Bobby again. It brought back some great memories.
Yeah, always a good time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
You too. Dr. Rosemary Stein, a pediatrician, but she's a well-rounded, and she's really into the education world as well. She ran for superintendent of public instruction here in North Carolina, and unfortunately did not get the position. But fortunately for a bunch of kids, she didn't get the position because she's able to deal with her kids more in her practice. So that's good.
Well, one thing that I've always been impressed with her is that she understands learning.
Yes.
She understands how children learn and develop, as well as, she's looking at more than just their physical well-being. And everything's connected. Everything's connected. So if you can't treat one thing and leave something else out.
Nope, you cannot. It's a wild, crazy world out there, and the kids need to know about it these days more than ever. We used to have it in our time, but it wasn't to this degree. We were talking earlier. Charlie called in, and he said, "Do you? I've heard these stories about the milkman delivering milk to your doors." And I said, "Well, yeah, they did. Yeah. Here, the door, we had to make sure the door was unlocked. I'll never forget that. The door's unlocked. Milkman's coming today. It's Monday or Wednesday or Friday or whatever day of the week he came, days of the week. Be sure the door's unlocked." Okay. And he'd come in. He'd pick up the empty milk bottles, and he would leave the same number of filled milk bottles, and he put them in the refrigerator.
I don't remember that.
That's what we had. That's the milkman that we had here, and that's the way he would do it. Mm-hmm. He would knock on the door. You'd hear him knock, 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 knock. Door opens, milkman, and then he comes in and does his thing.
Yeah, I think it was a service, kind of like you had to tell them that you
Yeah, yeah.
wanted them to do that.
Whatever you wanted, that's what whatever you were comfortable with, is what they did. Other
Yeah.
people had, and I think I remember on your porch, a big metal container. It was a cooler, in fact, probably made by the company or was distributed by the company that distributed the milk,
Mhm.
like Mayola or whoever. We had Mayola here, that they would put the bottles in and take out empty bottles.
Mm.
It was a cooler
Yeah.
designed to keep it cold until you
Yeah,
went
that's
out to get it.
possible. I just don't
I
remember.
remember that silver container somewhere. We didn't have one, but
Ah.
other people did have them.
Yeah, it may,
And your
now
house-
that, now that you say
I
that,
bet you did.
I may remember seeing something
I
like
bet-
that at the
I bet
house.
the captain had one out there,
Yeah,
because that would sound like him.
yeah,
So anyway,
yeah.
her daddy was a captain in the Marine Corps. So anyway, okay. Yeah, we go way back before we were an item. So as they say today, let's see. You got a women's club
Yes.
that is moving or has moved its meeting location to a different spot, right?
Yep. Is it okay if I talk about that?
Absolutely, as a stew. We got about 5 minutes before the Senate candidate calls in.
The Crystal Coast Women's Club, which I'm currently the president of, but only for a couple more months because we're actually tomorrow voting in new people, has been in existence for 50 plus years.
Oh, wow.
And in all of that time, they based out of Morehead City.
Even though they were Crystal Coast, they could be anywhere.
Well, Crystal Coast could be, and they changed their name recently because I became a member, and there's several other people from Jacksonville and a lot more people from Swansboro and Cape Carteret. We found this past year ourselves kind of in
Predicament.
it was a transitional time. We couldn't find a place where we could meet.
Mhm.
And so we had to switch and find a place that would let us have a reasonable rent. And we found a place at the VFW at Cape Carteret. So the club is moving towards Onslow County, and it
Closer.
would make membership much more friendly
Mhm.
to people in Onslow, Western Carteret, that area.
Yeah.
So I'd like to invite people to join us if you would like to come as a guest one time.
Mhm.
And
You got a meeting this week?
and see if you like it. Yeah, we have a meeting tomorrow at the VFW in Cape Carteret, and
You got a special speaker.
we
Hey, we
do.
know him.
Pete Benton is going to be our speaker.
Lieutenant Colonel Pete Benton.
Yes, and the meeting's about an hour. The club members arrive about 11:15. We start the meeting at 11:45, and we have lunch.
Mhm.
The members all the members that monthly bring something, not every month, but they are assigned a month out of the year, and they bring something.
Yeah.
And we sort of have like a potluck
Good.
ish lunch. And it's a good way to meet people and have some fellowship with other women.
Yeah.
And we have interest groups, and
Am I cooking anything for your club this week?
no, you're not.
Okay, good.
And
don't-
if
they don't want me
Raven will
anymore.
let me, I will stick some information up on their Facebook page.
Absolutely, put it up there. We'll just run it. We'll go with it.
And about how you can get information or join or whatever.
You put it up there, it'll be factual. If you give it to me and put it up there, it'll be rewritten and you wouldn't be able to
I'll
understand it.
give it to Lee.
Wah, wah, wah. Women stick together. That's why it's a women's club.
It is.
A women's club. Do y'all gossip? No, that's silence
Well-
is golden. I know
No,
from my decades of dealing with people.
I had to think about
I
it
know what you're
because
saying.
I don't really. I'm sure that there is some gossiping going on out there someplace, but not around me. Not so much.
You know, we had a guest speaker at the fishing club here, Onslow Bay Saltwater Fishing Club last night.
Mhm.
And he's a guide, fishing guide, and he's well known in the area. But he's a great guide. And at the very end, he did something that just went against my grain. He said, "You guys are fishermen. You should not be telling lies when people ask you where you're catching fish. You don't lie to them." Wait a minute now. It's a God-given right and expectation. I fish, therefore I lie. Right?
That's what we.
Well, I would suggest that you just lie about everything anyway, if it's to your advantage.
It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. Oh, Leah's back. And she's double team me.
It was a stressful 30 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I filled out everything online last night, but they had like pages of questions for me this morning. And I'm like, no, for that, do you
Let
want
the dog
this?
fill it out.
I'm going to tell you what, he was a good boy. He was good.
Did he growl?
All they wanted to talk about was my other dog,
Oh, well, your other dog's not there.
the crazy one.
It wasn't
They
Paco
go,
that
"Yeah,
went.
nobody's as bad as Paco." It's true. True.
They used to do that with my sister and me. They would say, when she get a teacher that I had the year before,
Right.
you know what, you've got a lot to do to keep up with him. He was such a nice guy and smart.
Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Am I being saved now?
That is Michael Watley on the phone.
Michael Wiley on the phone. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. We got a couple of other people in the studio this morning. Of course, Lee Barrows, you know her. And,
Good morning, friend.
And my wife has stopped in here for a few minutes as well. She's probably
Yes.
going to jump up and leave, but she came in to sit with us for just a minute. So, Mr. Watley, time's moving on. We're getting closer and closer and closer. Things are happening. I'm hearing all sorts of claims of this and that by the other party, but I'm not even going to talk about that. I just want to talk about what do you have to offer, and why should we consider you to be our next senator from the great state of North Carolina?
The most basic point is that I'm going to fight for North Carolina. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
fight for the families. I'm going to fight for our communities. I'm going to make sure that we let every family make more and keep more. We're going to make sure that we keep our kids safe, and we're going to make sure that our men and women in uniform have what they need to carry out their mission to protect our interests and allies around the world.
Okay, well, those are great things. How are we going to do this?
Thank you.
How do we get this done?
Well, we get this done by going out and having that conversation across the country and across the state. I've been to 97 out of our 100 counties, and we're gonna get tomorrow out to County 98, which is Pamlico County down here.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
We're really truly taking this out and having this conversation everywhere we can. We're 6 days a week at this point. And Sundays I'm in church and I'm at home, and I take the Sabbath pretty serious. But, this is a conversation with North Carolina, not about what I want, but about what you need. What about North Carolina do you need? You need a strong economy. You need strong borders and safe communities. You need to make sure that our military is the strongest, most respected around the world, because that's what's going to ensure that we don't have issues like we did under the Joe Biden regime. Joe Biden and his weakness really, truly had tragic consequences, not just for America, but for the whole world, because when America's weak, the world is a far more dangerous place.
You're running for a seat that was held by Tom Tillis for 12 years and 2 terms. And he, I like Tom Tillis. I still like Tom Tillis. He rankled a lot of really diehard Republicans by reaching across the aisle. Is there a time and a place to, because not everybody here in this country is a Republican. I guess you found that out too, right?
Well, look, I think that the key right now is fighting for every family. Right. And it doesn't matter if you live in a big city like Charlotte or Raleigh or Greensboro, or if you live in a tiny little town like Blowing Rock, where I grew up. We had 534 people. Right. The issues are really going to focus on making sure that people take, home enough money, making sure that they can get through the month, in a more comfortable position. Want to lower taxes, want to lower interest rates, want to lower inflation, want to lower costs, so that we can make sure, that people are going to make more, but they're also going to spend less. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a pretty much, going to be fundamental. The highest function of any government is to protect its citizens. And that's true of the local government, of a state government, of a federal government. And Roy Cooper was an abject failure when it came to keeping our kids safe. You think about what he did with vetoing, the Parents' Bill of Rights. He vetoed bills to keep boys out of girls' sports and men out of women's locker rooms. You think about him allowing 4,200 criminals out of North Carolina prisons, put them back on the streets because he didn't want them to get COVID when they were in prison. And of course, they completely turned around and started committing crimes again. 2,200 of them were arrested within the next 2 years. Probably the most famous guy on that list, to Carlos Brown Jr., who was in Charlotte, and then he got released. He got re-released and rearrested 13 more times, so 14 total, before he got on a light rail car last summer and murdered a beautiful Ukrainian refugee named Irina Zaroska in cold blood, right? And you kind of wish the story stopped there, but it doesn't, because there's 25 others that Cooper released who went on to commit murder after he put them back on the streets, right? That is not something that independents want to hear about. That's not something that Democrats want to hear about. There's no mother in the state of North Carolina who wants to have their kids put in danger by a governor who is just, more pro-crime and pro-criminal than he is about protecting our citizens.
I think I sent a note to Lee yesterday, but anyway, I saw a spot. I don't know whether it's a commercial or whether it's a news article or whatever, talking about how great he was supporting our hurricanes and yada yada yada. What good did that do me?
And I did want to ask a question on that, Michael. Yeah. You were tapped by President Trump to serve on the FEMA Review Council to guarantee that disaster responses are dramatically improved from the failure seen under the Biden administration. And I know the Cooper camp wants to accuse you of not doing anything for our hurricane victims in the mountains. And I know you've been there many of the time. And do you want to address that rumor of him?
Thank you. Look, I think it's rich that a governor of North Carolina who wasn't even in North Carolina when that storm hit on September 27th, when Hurricane Helene slammed into North Carolina, Roy Cooper was at a gala ball up in New York City. He wasn't even in North Carolina.
Whoops.
And when we look at the record of what happened following that hurricane, where FEMA and Roy Cooper were absolutely not there. We had groups like Samaritan's Purse, like Baptist Men on Mission. When we see all of the different churches and communities that rose up to be able to protect their own and to make sure that they had first responders that were doing what they could for immediate recovery, Roy Cooper was not there. When President Trump got sworn in on January 20th, it was on a Monday. That Friday, we were on a plane coming back to North Carolina. We were on Air Force One. Mm-hmm. And the president asked me, can you help? Because we've got to get relief to these people and to these communities. So since that day, we've brought in $9.5 billion to Western North Carolina. We're talking about roads that have been rebuilt, bridges have been rebuilt, wastewater systems and water treatment systems have been rebuilt. The Blue Ridge Parkway is reopened. And, we've seen agriculture support from USDA. We've seen the EPA, who has put in the resources for towns to be able to build the water systems, farming assistance from USDA, housing assistance from HUD. We've seen small business assistance from the Small Business Administration. The Trump administration has a whole of government approach to making sure that the state is going to be able to recover and rebuild from Helene. The other thing that the president did was he created the FEMA Review Council, put me on it, which I'm very honored to be on. And what we did was take a hard look at what did the federal and the state governments do over the course of the last several decades, not just Helene, and what needs to be done to change the response going forward. People forget FEMA actually put out a memo back in Helene recovery that said if they have a Trump sign in their front yard, don't go offer them help. Yeah. I thought it was a fake when I first heard it. I'm like, there's no way that exists. And it did, right? That they had politicized FEMA, that they were taking money that was supposed to be spent on storm recovery and using it to house illegals in hotels up in New York City. So there's a lot that needed to be done about FEMA to get it back on its course. We finished our review. We gave that to President Trump last month, and I'm excited to see what changes the president is going to make based on our recommendations. But the fact is, North Carolina under Roy Cooper was so bad that the first thing Josh Stein did when he got sworn into office was sign an executive order that abolished Roy Cooper's hurricane recovery program and started a brand new one. And that's from his protege and Democrat replacement.
Okay, very good.
Wow.
My wife has stopped in here. She came in to assist me this morning while Lee was out for a little bit. And she's retired educator from over there in Carteret County at the Carteret Community College. And she's always got questions about this or that because I always have to answer them. So I'm going to let her ask you directly. She had something she wanted to say.
I did, and it's sort of related, but it's an observation that the people who respond in this state are people who gather in rural communities, get trucks, trailers, whatever they can put together, and drive to the places that need the help. It is not cities. And much of the legislation that we have in this state, and I think other states, are aimed at cities and what happens there and what's good for a city. If we don't start paying attention to the rural areas, they're getting squeezed out. And if they get squeezed out, who's really going to help the people of the state? That's my question roundabout.
Yeah, and I'm going to add to that just a little bit because when that little thing called Helene came through, we had one of my co-hosts here. She was stuck on a mountaintop, no communications, no food, no way to get down, no way to talk to anybody, and nothing until that's the reason she ended up getting a ham radio license right then and there. She started studying and now can't go anywhere without being able to talk to somebody. But I mean, the ham radio operators from here were there, were trained up, set up comms, and help operate during that time as well from this little town. My wife is right. Again.
Well, she's absolutely right. And one of the things that we recommended in this FEMA review report was that FEMA actually, set up an apparatus to be able to go work with entities like churches, like Samaritan's Purse, like the other groups that came into Western North Carolina, and make sure that they have resources as well to be able to go help. I mean, when you think about what we saw in Helene, and frankly, what we saw, with Florence and Matthew and every other hurricane going back, is it is communities that are going to respond first. And we want that, right? I think it needs to be a local response. It needs to be managed by the state, and the federal government has to play a support role. But we can't have people turn around and looking at the federal government, for the first responders when a major storm comes through like that. I remember getting a call from a state senator a few days after the storm saying, we don't have any cell, we don't have any broadband, we don't have any way to communicate up in the mountains, just like your friend did. And so I called Elon Musk and I called President Trump and said, hey, we need to get Starlink systems into the mountains. And, the president called Elon Musk, got him on the phone, told him what was going on, and 48 hours later, 24 hours later, they had Starlink systems starting to show up, and the folks in Yancey County, called me and said, hey, we're calling on a Starlink. Thank you so much for getting these systems, here. But, I think the one constant that I hear throughout all of those discussions, from September, October, November, December of 24 is where was Roy Cooper? Roy Cooper was not there. And so, it is ironic to me that he's running an ad saying Michael Wiley didn't do anything. I wasn't the governor of North Carolina. I was chair of the Republican Party, and I was in the middle of a presidential campaign. And, I showed up for Samaritan's Purse. I helped muck out homes. I helped cut down trees up in Ashe and Watauga counties. Roy had a press conference and then he left.
Michael, I told your staff that I will hold you to 15 minutes. You have 45 seconds. What would you like to say? They told me this.
Well, what I would like to say is I'm so excited about the opportunity to represent North Carolina in the Senate. I am so excited about the opportunity to be a conservative champion and to fight, for our men and women in uniform. You think about everything that's going on in the world. We need to make sure that our men and women in uniform have what they need to carry out their mission. 720,000 veterans who live in North Carolina, we owe them an obligation. The day that they signed up to commit to us, we committed to them, and we need to see that through. And I am thankful every single day for everyone who puts on a uniform to protect America.
Well
Amen.
said, sir. Thank you. We do appreciate it. Tell your staff I did my job.
When are you coming
All
back
right,
to
you guys have a
Oslo?
great day.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll be back soon.
Okay,
we will
thanks.
absolutely be back
See
soon.
you
Take care,
then.
guys.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Michael Wadley, chairman of the Republican Party, the National Republican Party that he's been. And
Well, he started the state in 2019,
Yeah.
and then the 2024 cycle, he went to the national.
So anyway, and he's running for U.S. Senate seat, currently held by Tom Tillis, who decided after last year. He announced it in advance. I respect him for that
He
instead
was
of waiting
done.
to the last
He
minute.
was ready to move
And
on.
he said he served 12 years. That's a long time. He served a bunch of
Yes.
years in the state Senate, state house.
Right.
And I appreciate everything that he's done. I've been with him in person on many occasions in the past, and he's a nice guy. And he's got a lot of grief from a lot of bad people who just beleaguered him. So anyway, he did a job.
Well, that's
it's
part of
supposed to be done.
politics. The only way sometimes someone feels like they can win is to
Have everybody kissing your butt.
is to trash the opponent.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
And,
he doesn't deal with that.
Yeah,
No.
I have a bone to pick with every politician,
Oh boy, she's my kind of woman.
and that is that. And I know it's politics, and I know they have to do it, but as soon as I hear someone say, "I want to be a liberal voice" or "I want to be a conservative voice," I just cringe, because what I want is a voice that listens to people and responds to the problems.
Yep.
Not conservative, not liberal, but the problem. Because as soon as you try to mold a problem into a liberal or a conservative problem, you're not solving the problem. You are making it a political issue.
Well, I understand completely what you're saying, and I agree. But just last night, I saw something that really made me proud. It was at the city council meeting, and a young woman got up to talk about the traffic issue in Belfort Homes, the speeding, and that her 2-year-old son almost got hit by a car, and she broke down.
Oh wow.
And it was it about made me cry. And as soon as she was done talking, our mayor said, "Get her name and her
We'll take care of
information,
this."
chief." The chief was sitting
Oh,
in the
yeah.
back row. The chief went up, went to that woman, got all her information, and said, "It's being taken care of."
Oh yeah.
Now, I
Y'all
like
might want
that.
to slow down if you're going through Belfort Homes, because you can rest assured the blues are going to be there.
I like what our mayor jumped right on it last night, and so did our police chief. But that's what it's all about with your elected officials.
Oh yeah, you let them know about these issues.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You listen,
Right.
you pay attention, and you fix it.
Right. He did. It was instant. And I mean,
Oh,
it's not like
I'm not going over there.
it was not like
21 or 20.
Yeah.
You would have just.
I know.
It's going to be. They won't be talking your way out of one right now, folks. They're going to make examples of you, and they should.
Right.
They did the same thing on Commerce Road out here when these people were zipping at 55 miles an hour. It's a
Right.
25 zone. Well, they took care of that.
Right.
It cost a lot of people $180.
Yes. And I had a phone call when I left here to take the animals in and not paying attention. And I looked down, I was doing 32, and I was like,
Oh, Lord, I get arrested.
and look,
My dogs will go to jail.
I'm always setting my speed control for 25 on that road because I know they're always out there.
In the ghost cars.
Does it work
Yeah.
under 35?
Yes, mine does.
I don't think mine does.
Mine does.
Mine does.
Because I sit it there. So I said mine.
Yep.
Well, I know, but when you get down to a certain speed, it won't
Some
work
cars
anymore.
won't,
Some
'cause
of them.
I know-
I don't think mine does.
And my
Of course, you got
sister
a
saw
speedy
it.
car.
Because I do the same thing. I try to set it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's easy to forget.
All right, marine forecast. Let's do it quickly here. This
Okay.
weak wave of low pressure along a stalled frontal boundary, and that's what was bringing all that scattered showers we had and thunderstorms yesterday. We had some heavy rain last night here. It didn't last long, but those skylights, bam, bam, bam. I thought, what the Sam Hill is that? Thought somebody was coming through. A stronger cold front's forecast to approach area waters Thursday and Friday. Another round of showers and a bit of a risk of gales when you get beyond the 20 nautical mile limit. Don't go out there, folks. It's not going to be pretty for a few
Nope.
days. Today, out to 60 nautical miles, westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming southwesterly 15 to 20 this afternoon. Gusts up to 30, seas 4 to 6 feet, a chance of thunderstorms. Showers are likely, mainly in the morning. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30, seas 5 to 6 feet. 5 to 6 feet.
Shoo-wee.
No. Southwesterly winds on Friday, 20 to 25 knots, gusts up to 30, seas 5 to 7 feet. Double note. Showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms. If you're going to do it, if you got to go out, stay inside. That means don't go into the inlet or beyond. The inlet's going to be nasty. It's going to be the
Nasty.
nastiest part of the whole trip, and you probably are not going to do well. You're not going to even like it out there. when
And
you get there.
unpredictable.
That's it. Yeah, it's unpredictable. And thunderstorm pop up, there's 5 to 6. They're going to be 6 to 8. That's the way it works. There you go. Stay inside. Intercoastal waterway, the rivers and the creeks along the coast.
Today we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms as is raining right now. Partly sunny with a high near 87. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 73. Thursday sunny with a high near 95 with heat index values as high as 100. Friday, Juneteenth, showers and thunderstorms with a high near 89, and Saturday mostly sunny with a high near 90.
We had 0.02 inches of rain as of 7 o'clock this morning. It's now 0.0 later. It's raining. Okay.
Yes.
Checking with the neighborhood lead this morning at 5:30 said it was 71 degrees over in the Woodlands, 96% relative humidity, 29.85 inches of mercury. Winds out of the south at almost nothing at the time, 0.1 inch of rain. I don't know what you've got by now. You're probably climbing.
It was a good solid 0.1 when I left.
Yeah, Richard in Jones County this morning had 70 degrees, 100% humidity. It was raining, 29.83 inches of mercury and falling. Southwesterly breeze at about 3, not much, about a quarter inch of rain. Ward and Cedar Point, 72 degrees, 95% humidity, 29.91 inches. He said it was damping at the time. Water was coming down. Southwesterly winds 3 to 5, kind of light. He had the 1300ths of an inch at the time. Dale reported in the river bend this morning, 71 degrees, 98% humidity, 29.72 inches of mercury. South to easterly winds. They were moving back and forth, kind of variable at about 2 miles an hour. He had 1100ths of an inch of rain. Brian in the Burrows, 70.2 degrees, 92% humidity, 29.52 inches of mercury. Very light westerly winds, and he only had a trace of rain at the time. Will was in Acorn Forest, 72 degrees, 89% humidity, 29.85 inches of rain. West-southwesterly winds at 7.21 inches of rain. Randy, Southwest Community, probably got more rain than this now. He had 0.23 inches at 7 o'clock, 6:30, and 70 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.83 inches of rain. And he had a drizzle at that time. No telling what he's doing now. Westerly winds at northwesterly winds at 2 to 5. That's a look around the neighborhood. Thanks to our friends at the Onslow Amateur Radio Club who've got people scattered here, there, and everywhere. It's 72 degrees at this scattered location, 99% humidity, and like I said, 0.08 inches of rain, 29.73 inches of mercury. Yeah,
Okay, here's my weather report.
it's wet.
Lucy and Shockwave were wet when they came in. There's my weather report.
That's a whole lot like having a weather rock out there, isn't it?
It is.
If it's wet, it's raining. So, well, good for them. They probably needed a shower. Okay. Everything else good?
Everything else.
I want to talk. I started about it last time, and these people, use peoples, whoever is out there. I don't care how bad you don't like the president, the administration, the Republican Party, whether you like those of us who are neither party. I don't really care. I don't care whether you don't like black people, white people, Indian people, or my dog. I don't care. Leave them alone. If you don't like them, stay away from them. If you don't like the president or somebody else who's elected, unelect them. You can do that. Next election, you're not going to, you can come through and you can try to do something to them while they're in office. The chances of you doing anything to them legally is dang near zero, if not in the minus zero range. It's not going to happen. Get over yourselves. You're not big enough. You're not man enough. You're not woman enough. You don't have the power to do that. We, the people, the majority of this country who voted, elected them to office. You like it? Sometimes I'm in the minority of that group because the people who were elected, I didn't vote for. Okay? That's just the way the system works. Am I going to sit around and complain about it and try to upend them all the time? No. Somebody's got to be working together. But you idiots, you low-life scums out there who decided that you want to put drones up in the air and put armament on them, explosive devices to create hate and discontent at a lawn party
and hurt innocent people.
To try to herd by sending the drones, and that was your plan, to send drones into nearby buildings and have people scattered, all running to one exit where your sniper teams, you call them snipers, they're bums with guns, have them set up to start shooting people like fish in a rain barrel as they exited. That was your plan. That was your plan, and you're 19 years old. You're an idiot. You're going to prison, and hopefully for the rest of your natural life, you and the other 22 people that they've arrested. The FBI has got you. You're done. You're one and done. And that the rest of the people out there who are members of this group or who have ever dealt with them, you need to be shaking in your boots. If you haven't been caught yet, and they find your name,
that's right.
Guess what, Bubba? They're going to make room in prison for you.
That's right. It's around the corner.
You children are going to suffer.
Well, maybe they'll put him in the same cell as those guys that like little girls that we were talking about earlier this morning.
I certainly hope they do, because he's going to find out what justice is really about. Y'all none of y'all have been to these prisons, have you? Y'all ever walked in these walls? You ever been nearby to a real prison? I mean, where women don't need to be even on the premises because it's unpretty out there.
What makes this
pretty boys
punk think that he could even pull something off like this?
Because he could. He could think so.
Oh, that's right. He thought so.
He thought so.
He thought he was a lot smarter than everybody else.
Well, you pukes out there, you don't understand how this works. They do. And it's not going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty like you find it on TV.
Right. It's not like TV. That's right.
No. And after they did, after the plan was, after they did all this stuff, then they were going to storm the gates themselves with a second group of individuals to try to take over the White House. And in the process, do whatever they do to take over the White House. Y'all would have been destroyed because they got people with big guns sitting there waiting for you. It's not just some Secret Service agents out front. They've got big guns. They've got guns on the roof.
Yeah,
they got anti-aircraft fire on the roof. They got guns that will bring down planes on the roof.
They have people that you don't even know, hiding in trees, behind the dumpsters, everywhere.
The interesting thing here is that these people who are choosing to go after whoever they don't like, they can do that because we have a democratic state, where people make decisions about who's in office and then it goes back and forth. If these groups continue to do what they're doing and increase in numbers, we're going to be a police state soon because it's going to be necessary to protect people. A democracy is going to be out the window.
I don't remember ever seeing a 19-year-old that looked like that in my school or afterwards. Do you? This guy has got a receding hairline like you would not believe. He's got a full beard to disguise his receding hairline. Have you seen this picture of this guy?
No,
He's 19 freaking years old. And they're going to love him when he's in that big boy prison. He's only a big boy in his appearances, and in his mind, he's a little puke punk, and he's going to suffer.
Looks like he's in his
Mama,
30s, 40s.
Mama, write him off. Don't worry about him. This dude, his name is Proper. What a ridiculous last name he's got. He got $3,000 of graduation money. His high school, when he graduated from high school, he got $3,000. He went out and bought lots of ammunition, guns, extra magazines, and other crap
Seriously?
for the attack. Yeah, that's how he spent his graduation money. That's how he spent his graduation money. You know what I did with my $50? I went out and bought another dive tank. That gave me 2. Seriously, that's what I did.
I don't know that I
Well,
had
to
anything.
each his own interest.
Well, he bought this stuff so he could go
That's
kill people.
Well, that's what he wants to do.
That's not what he can do. I can go diving. He cannot do this. It's legal for me to do what I wanted to
I
do.
know, but spend your money. People spend their money where their interest is.
Here's another dude, one of those arrested. He was in California. This other guy was not in California. There's another one from Kansas City. They're from all over. They're from everywhere. Omaha, Kansas City, Nebraska. Really? There was a network of these people.
There's a lot of those networks out
There's
there.
a lot of those networks out there. They're no foreign, unless they're run by a foreign entity or getting money or support from some foreign terrorist organization. These are all homegrown idiots.
Yeah. And my concern is that it's going to become a competition. And so all of these groups out there, it's like having gang wars almost.
Y'all,
They all are going to want to outdo the other one so that they can be the most important one.
well, the gang that they're going to have to outdo is going to be the rest of us.
Yeah.
And we outnumber you. Folks, we got the military out there. We got all of the federal agents. There are 800,000 law men in this country. People who are carrying guns who enforce the laws. 800 plus thousand of us. Them, not me. 800,000. We got 1.5 million troops. Now, what are you going to do? What kind of army do you think you can mount to do that, to take over this country? Oh, Lord, you've seen way too many stupid movies. That's all I can tell you. If you think you can do this, you just seen way too much crap on TV.
Yep.
And you're going to lose, except, you know what? If you try it when you come with guns, you're going to die on the spot. They're not going to take you prisoner if you come in with guns. They're going to shoot you first. That's the way the world's going to work for you.
Yep.
I'm ticked off that anybody would try this. I don't get it. And it's, society, we the people, we have the ability. If you suspect your neighbors, if you suspect that little punk next door of this kind of stuff, it's your duty. It's your responsibility. It's because you want to. You want your children and grandchildren and future children and grandchildren to be able to live in a society like we've got now, not like these people want.
A lot of people don't want to get involved, so they don't say anything. But you know what? We have great programs like Crime Stoppers.
Just call Crime Stoppers.
Crime Stoppers. They'll take whatever information you have to give them.
And it doesn't matter what it is. If you suspect some idiots like this dude went out and set up someplace to set up a range. I don't know where he lives, but he went out and built a big range for himself. He's 19 freaking years old.
19 is.
Well, but what you just described, excuse me, these people are individuals in communities. In their individual communities, they're probably just seen as a whack job.
Yeah.
And people don't worry about it. not understanding that this whack job is connected to a whack job over there. And then when these people decide to mobilize, then you have a big problem.
Right. So if you see some kind of strange activity from people that probably should not be having, weapons capable of firing like they've got, why are they doing this? And have you ever seen them with their shotguns out going hunting or anything as kids? Probably not. That's not what their goal is. Never was their goal. I don't know. These are strange groups of people out there. And kudos to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Mr. Patel, you and your group, I am sure without a doubt that they probably had some intel that got picked up somewhere down the line from other sneaky people that they can't do anything about it, but they can certainly pass it along. And that's probably what happened. So y'all who pick up information, pass it along. If you suspect something, if you see something, say something. How many times do I have to say that? If you see it, it's not right. You're feeling we've got something we're looking at right now. And there are now 2 vehicles, Robbie, and I know one of them. But when we see something, you need to tell the right people. If you don't want to, Lee, again, Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers, one of our best tools that we've got in this community. We can call them and we can tell them what's going on. They will never ask your name. It ain't Cheers here, y'all. They don't know your name. They don't want to know your name. They will give you a code number. So in the future, if you see something going down as a result of something you called and you think maybe you had a hand in that and you want some money, you give them a call and they will and you tell them what your code number is, because they will say, yes, you have been selected to receive a reward. If you want it, cash will be at this location at this time. Nobody will ask your name. They will know your code number, and that's all.
That's right.
Go pick it up.
Yes.
Go spend it. Go buy yourself.
And for those that don't live in Onslow County, I'm sure that if you just Google the area that you live,
yeah, absolutely.
There'll be a Crime Stoppers near you. So.
And if not, if it's a big thing and it's in Carteret County or Jones County or Craven County, any of these neighboring counties, you call that Jacksonville telephone number we're going to give you right now. You've got it handy, right?
I've already posted it.
When you call that, they will get the information to the proper authorities. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be the Onslow County people. They can call the right people in your county. They know who they are. Okay? The number is 910-938-3273. 3273. 910-938-3273. Give them a ringy-dingy. You got something to say. Now, call us if you want to say something, because I'm tired of talking. 910-333-0139, 910-333-0139. And thanks to my wife for coming in this morning while Lee was running out and taking care of a doggy and a kitty cat. Is your kitty cat still meowing?
No, he was quiet. He loves those ladies at the vet. He was all about them.
Who we got?
We have Joy.
Oh, Joey. Here she comes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm tired.
Yeah, you were just blah, blah, blah. I thought I had to give him a little break, let him rest.
Thank you.
Look, I had this complaint. That stupid light they put up in front of Lowe's Foods is like I've lived out this way over 30-some years. Well, you know what? When I'm traveling down Gum Branch, that stupid light they put so close to that other light, I mean, I don't really even remember that it's there. I mean, because you travel that way, and it's so close together to the other one. And then when I was coming home yesterday from, I don't know why they didn't go down farther. I know that Lowe's, you have to make a left, but if you go down a little bit farther where the old Circle K is and Lardell begins and Deerfield and that area, it would be very interesting to see how many wrecks have occurred in that area since that haven't developed. There's been quite a few. Mm-hmm. Why in the world would they do such a stupid thing, and who decides that?
Are you talking about the light that they haven't uncovered it yet, right?
No, yes. Right there when you exit.
They put
Like you
it
turn
there.
left go ahead.
They put it right there because of that huge subdivision that they're building. And
I know, but
yeah, where you come out of there, and I know they're all close together. I can understand why they put a light there because just me traveling last night, I was in, where was I, Wilson? And not familiar with the intersections and stuff. And I was coming out
Right.
of side roads and I could not get onto the road. It was a busy road and it was crazy. So I can imagine coming out of that subdivision, how hard it would be to make a left-hand turn onto Gum Branch. It's about virtually impossible.
But Deerfield is just the same way as that housing development is.
Yeah, they do have that
I mean-
one caution light that blinks, but nobody pays attention to.
No.
Saying vehicles entering roadway, but nobody pays attention to that.
Well, so they're entering. What's that mean?
It means caution, slow down, watch for
Oh,
vehicles entering, but nobody pays
You know-
attention to that.
No, like when I was traveling it yesterday, I mean, I found myself actually, because the lights weren't turned on yet, but you know, you're driving and you've done it for so long, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
you're like, you continue and you like stop again. And I know that the housing development, but those down the road, it would be interesting to see how many wrecks have occurred in that
Yes.
area
I agree.
from Circle K, where the Deerfield and Lauderdale area, and that Kerrville, all in there, up through like past Wismar until you get to the end of the, 2 lanes or 4 lanes begin too.
Well,
I don't understand why they didn't move it or put another one, because it's quite a distance from that new light they want to operate all the way down to that other one. There's a lot of distance, and this one's like right there. And
well,
it seems to me it's political in a way.
well, Joy, what surprises me is it's a proactive step when the DOT is normally reactive. So I was
Yes,
surprised.
they do it in advance. That's really weird.
That I know
So-
it's unusual because
Yeah,
usually
I know it's unusual.
they wait
It's
till
weird.
you have so many wrecks and then they do a test and a study.
Well, I used to
and-
accuse them of when they had enough body bags, and that's when they put a light up. That's
Well, but down where where I'm talking about, there have been body bags.
Mhm.
Now, where they're putting the light at, they're probably going to begin some body bags because people are going to be going probably through that second light, not meaning to, but not used to having it there forever, and so close together with that other one.
All right. Well, my wife and I, we got to go out in that general direction this morning, pulling a trailer, so we may get out there and create a wreck. What do you think?
Oh no! Please don't be.
No,
doing that.
don't do that.
Okay.
I might have to come out there.
Yeah,
and
we'll lose all our wood.
Yeah, we can't do that. We lose all the wood we got. And when we get out there, what are you having for lunch? So we may need something. You said,
Well, you don't want what I'm having for lunch.
what are you having?
An iron fusion.
A what?
An iron
I have
fusion.
got an iron fusion.
She's getting it by needle where we take the tablets, right, for iron. She's getting.
Oh,
I'm getting. I'll be sitting there for a little while.
Do you
I don't want that.
taste like iron for the rest of the day? Can
I'm
you
startled.
taste it?
Say what?
No, what I do is I take a Benadryl an hour beforehand. Only
sleep through What?
Well, every time I go in there, a doctor, my blood pressure's high, and when I go to the doctor,
Okay.
So you take a bit
And
of drill so
so-
you calm yourself down?
yeah, well, that just in case, you never know when you're going to be allergic to anything like that. I mean, you might not be used to take a
But you're
time
in a
the first time.
doctor's office, aren't you?
So then I just come home and go to bed. And then if I don't know what's going on, but I don't have the iron taste, Lee, and I've got to have another one next week. I don't have that iron taste.
When do you get those infusions?
I have to have them probably about every 4. I'm supposed to have them really every 4 to 6 months because for whatever reason, when I developed the Graves' disease, I started having anemia.
Gotcha.
Because I think it's because of not eating in my diet. I don't really know what goes on with your body, particularly thyroid. But I've never been this way until the past few years. And what happens is I crave, and a lot of people don't know this, it's called pica. and you crave ice, or you can either crave dirt. And I'm so glad that
Ice
I crave
or dirt?
I did that for a while with ice.
Crave ice. Ice doesn't have a taste. How do you crave ice?
This
crunch.
You just do. You don't.
Yeah.
For some people, they want to bite it, and you can look it up. It's called pica, P-I-C-A.
So what do? You just let it lay it in your mouth?
I would let it in my mouth because your mouth gets dry also. So a lot of people don't know these things.
What?
Your mouth gets dry, so you want that ice inside your mouth. But the good part about it is I lost weight.
I'll bet you did.
By doing that, because
ice has no calories.
Look, exactly, because your body's got to warm back up to that temperature, and as it's warming back up, I mean, 24. When I'm awake, I will have ice continuously, all day long. And so, like for the past couple of, I was past due of getting my season, but anyways, I've lost like 15 pounds just by the ice.
Because you couldn't eat anything.
Which you couldn't get in the blood one day, and I was probably frozen.
Well, maybe you could get some frozen shrimp or something and put them in your mouth.
Oh, no.
I mean, after they're already cooked, of course.
Yeah, well, I don't. It's just something about. I'm just glad I don't want the dirt and I want the ice. And the doctor did tell me that some people, one person liked the foam, they would want to chew on the foam of a mattress or something. And I'm like, ooh, gross. It's really strange. It's really strange how your body works and what, I don't know. But anyways, I'm just complaining about that light. And I don't like that they had to put another one down farther. And with Gum Branch the way it is now, that new development, and that was my main complaint.
I tell you what, dropping the speed on Gum Branch has really made a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
All the way to Richlands is 45. I like that.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It used to be 90.
But I'm wondering what's going to happen now that that other light's so close to the other one. Wondering what's going to happen. Are you going to have people like lined up in between those two lights here? You know what I'm saying?
Probably. Yep. And then
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think they have an intelligent traffic system thing right there.
It's only got a
That's
score of
supposed
50.
to. I know.
It's not that smart.
I'm all for slowing traffic down or helping traffic ease the congestion. And when I saw that subdivision, I'm thinking, there's no way I could get out on Gum Branch Road making a left. I'd have to go right, go down, turn around,
see it
come
right
up.
now. You're going to find some guys that are low on the quota sitting out there writing tickets.
Well, Western Boulevard's the same way. There's a traffic light every 500 feet, as witnessed this morning when the woman that was in front of me in her Tesla, she was in a right turn lane, but she was going straight. And then the light got stuck.
Trying to get it charged up in a hurry.
I had to sit there and wait, but just patience.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, I just I can't comprehend. I mean, living here all my life and seeing how we've grown, and then to see the way the things they do.
There were no traffic lights on Gum Branch Road when I was coming along.
I know they never used to
remember that it was two roads, two ways. There was like nothing on Gum Branch. Always nothing.
After you left Henderson Drive,
there was no lights until you got to Richlands.
Yeah,
and Richlands was so far away when we were teenagers. We were told, "Don't you go up to Richlands."
And when you turn on
road, don't go down Gum Branch Road.
Radar Future was always out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radar.
Really?
Remember
but that was my I was just thinking about that light, and then I'm thinking, now, there's got to be some kind of pull going on here. I'm just wondering if I don't know.
Welcome to progress.
They need to add another one farther down also if they're going to do that. That's all there is to it, because that's where the wrecks have occurred.
There you go.
And so that's my complaint. And then I'll talk a lot. Now we've all talked.
Shirley, go get some ice.
Go get some ice.
You need to chill.
I've got it.
Okay. All right.
I've got it.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
too.
Bye.
Wow. You talking about government, local government, traffic.
Oh, I want to hear about last night. because I got comments.
Let me tell you about last night.
City Council, Jacksonville, North Carolina, deadline yesterday.
I watched it when I got home because, I was gone last night.
Uh-huh.
So at midnight last night, I'm watching this. I was so stressed out just watching it. I mean, okay.
11 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, it started off normal meeting, and then it went into public comment, and the group of people that were there, they weren't together as a group, but the people that showed up for public comment, with the exception of the one lady talking about Bill Combs and the traffic situation, were all people that were opposed to H 1038, which is the bill that's currently in legislation right now
that the city can't do anything about.
That the city had nothing to do with the proposing of it and the introduction into it. But that is the bill to change the ward system to at large.
Right.
So there was
to come into compliance with the legal system.
There was people that gave their opinions or it gave what they felt that did very good.
Mm-hmm.
There were people that got up there I'm like, the only thing that was missing was their tinfoil hat. And, you're going to get people, you're going to get an array of comments and different opinions and stuff. And then throughout the evening, different board members would jump on the 1038 and go into this blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we've already done this how many times?
Too many.
Too many times.
The ward system, we have 4 wards in the city of Jacksonville. The city is split up into 4 wards. One of those wards in particular encompasses a big chunk of the annexed area of Camp Lejeune and the New River Air Station. Right. Military base. But the people who live in on this military base, they have shown almost none vote in local elections. They may be registered back home, and they can do absentee.
It's a unicorn.
It's absentee ballot, and they will vote, maybe, but they don't vote in North Carolina. They don't vote in the ward for anybody on the city council or whatever.
Right.
So, but they are counted in the group, but they don't vote. So only a couple of hundred people in that ward actually vote, as opposed to 2,500 in the other wards.
Well,
that's the problem.
Well, the problem right now with our city council is they're split right down the middle. You got 3 over here that are against it, 3 over here saying, we're going to wait and see, and we think it's good, so they're for it. And then you have the mayor sitting in the middle who has to break the ties. But
you also have the legal guys out there saying what we're doing is going to get us into trouble legally.
Exactly right. Well, then they go into discussion about the budget. Now, how long have they been working on this budget? They start
Since last year.
March of the year or whatever. And they decided that they were not going to vote on the budget, except it last night because of this moratorium.
Still waiting.
The bill is sitting on the governor's desk. He has until Saturday to either sign it or ignore it. If he ignores it, it automatically goes into law on the 21st. If he signs it or if he vetoes it, it's got to go back to the House and Senate, which will override it because they have the votes. Mm-hmm. So that's going to take more time. Now, how soon will they do that?
So he's probably going to ignore it and let it just take effect without him saying yes or no.
Because the majority, both sides, voted for it. Yep. So it's just a thing of like, well, so after they voted to delay it to June 27th for vote and have a public meeting, have a regular city council meeting and vote on it then one of the city council women said, well, you know what? We've never, as a whole council, sat down and talked to the department heads or gone line by line in each department.
Good luck on that one.
And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you've had workshops?
Yep.
You've met individuals? Some of you city council people met 2 or 3 at a time here there to discuss it?
If you've ever looked at a budget, I have.
Right.
If you go through that, you as an individual,
right,
without a committee around you, as an individual, take it and go through that thing line by line by line and look at all of it. I'll see you in 6 months.
Well,
Because that's how long it will take.
it's just like, I think we need to go ahead and write down everybody's your questions, and we need to meet, and we need to discuss this. We need to be able to talk with the department heads. And I'm thinking, y'all weren't going to vote on this budget tonight.
Mhm.
You've had this budget for how long? You've been working on it for how long?
Mhm.
And I know that some of the city council people were not on the city council at the time they started working on it,
But
because
they've been on there for the majority of the
but they've
time.
been on there for the majority. And I thought, you know, a week before you're going to sign this budget, now you want to tear it apart?
I'm not sure
Like,
that they can even properly do that with the individual department heads. The department heads work for the manager.
Right.
The manager works for the city council. I don't know who grew up and outside of the military operations, but there are steps that you take.
Well, I will tell you, the city manager, Joshua Ray, he stood up there, he explained it. He said, this is what we've done. We've given you this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. We can, if you need it, blah, blah, we will accommodate you. We will work with you. But he more or less laid out all the time that, you know, everyone has had to review this.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, you don't wait till it's time to sign it. Then all of a sudden you have this. Did you not go through your
Do they
budget?
not understand the state law also requires that by midnight on the
So,
30th, you
it-
will have a budget or you violation.
they got through all the discussion on that, and like, well, I'd like to make a motion to do this or that. But then they decided, like, everybody, if you have questions, write them up. City council, give them to the city manager. He will respond to it if you need to sit down and talk with another council person. But in my opinion, it's too late to start making changes on your budget.
Yeah,
It's too late. You've had it long enough.
They're not going to make any changes.
So we went through all that, and I'm just like, good Lord. And of course, it was 3-3 on that.
Good.
So then when it came time for city council member comments, of course, we had to go back and revisit 1038 again. So this one would be like blah, 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 blah. They kept on and on and on and on and on. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, can we just get through it? Then they went into closed council.
For what?
Because they had a attorney employee something. It was, you know, they went
As
into.
long as they did it legally. I'm just one of those.
Of course, Rayford, they're not going to sit there and break the law openly. But anyway,
You haven't
So
been to the
they-
meetings I've been to.
well, that was then. I mean, our city council, they did everything they were
Not-
supposed to
not
by
our
law.
council, I would
right,
say, but-
right.
And the two others.
But so they came out of the closed meeting, and they didn't pick up the sound right away. But when they did, we get into the 1038 again.
Ah, it does.
And one of the city council women said, I'd like to make a motion to have a resolution showing that the city council is not in favor of H 1038. And they were like going, wait a minute now. And she said, well, we need to know who on the city council, we need to take a vote on it to see if you agree that we need to do a resolution to send it to our state legislators and let them know we don't want 1038, which is the bill to change wards to at large. So then it got all technical after that. Technically, she couldn't do that because there was already a motion made one of the other meetings by Jerome Willingham to do a resolution, and they voted to table that. Well, you've got 6 city council meetings to bring that motion back up again and decide whether or not you want to continue with it, which nobody had spoke about it before the meeting. It was not put on the agenda, blah, blah, blah. So technically, she couldn't be making the motion. But the thing got so complicated because there was somebody else that made a motion on her motion to table her motion.
Boy.
And so then there was discussion like, oh, we only need one person to approve the motion. We don't need a second. And then the attorney found out, yes, you do need a second because it's written into into their charter, the city of Jacksonville. Robert's rules does not require it, but the charter for the city of Jacksonville does.
Correct.
So we spent, there was like 45 minutes on all this going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on it.
Thank God we got some hot air going.
Well, the thing about it is, they voted to table everything because really, what can you do?
Nothing.
And one councilwoman
Nothing.
wanted to go ahead. Well, why can't we just go ahead and redistrict now and put put a piece of every ward into the base? That's still not going to solve the issue, in my opinion.
Nope.
But they were like, no, you can't do that. I mean, because technically, the state of North Carolina, the government, the general legislature, are the ones that tell the municipalities how you're going to do it, what you're going to do. So they could go ahead and change it and think, okay, this will do away with 1038. And the government can come down and say, nope, we're going back to at large. So it's a catch-22, but I think
what do the other areas like Fayetteville and wherever Seymour Johnson is, how do they handle it?
I'm not really sure what they do, Seymour Johnson. I can find out tomorrow night, though. But I know that that's a good question. And we've brought that up before, like Cherry Point in Craven County.
Yeah.
And then you've got, but I don't think they're incorporated into the city.
So
that's
the
our
whole
unicorn.
thing is whether the military base is part of the city. If it's been annexed as being part of a city, then that's one thing. But if they're not annexed, they're federal property. They're nothing but federal property, and there's no city elections on those bases.
Understood. But do we know that that's the case?
I don't know
in
what
all
they
the
are.
military bases in North Carolina.
I'm looking.
It's been labeled as this being very unique.
All right, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base is not incorporated into the city of Fayetteville. So therefore,
Fayetteville, Goldsboro.
Well, Goldsboro, yes. It says it's located in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Oh, wait. And was annexed by the city of Goldsboro on February 7, 1977.
Yeah.
That's because I put in Fayetteville, not Goldsboro. So that's annexed in.
I thought it was.
Is there a award system there?
Right.
How that's handled. And obviously, it's not as large as Lejeune.
Cherry Point may not be. I don't know.
All right. Yes, Goldsboro, North Carolina uses a ward system for its city council elections. The city is divided into 4 wards, each represented by 1 member of the Goldsboro City Council. All right. I don't know. I'm going to ask.
I wonder if they're equal wards or whether one ward has primarily the military in it. That's what you got to look at.
I'll be there tomorrow night.
That's what we did in
And I will
Jacksonville.
see if I can.
We put most of the base annexed area
Right.
in one ward, a
Yes.
little bit in another.
Right.
That's where the whole thing being done. They did it for one particular purpose, and the purpose backfired on them
Right. Ward
because it
boundaries
was done for
is-
racial
okay.
reasons.
And so we want to know about Cherry Point. That would sit in Havelock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Havelock City.
Okay, we're going to be going tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking to a retired sheriff.
Yes, we are.
To being here at 8:00 in the morning,
At
live
large.
in the studio. Asa Buck.
But he's got some
He's
stories.
retired. He's somebody else is filling in now. Been appointed, I guess, as sheriff until the election comes up, whenever the election is. But anyway, Asa, I've known him since I've been back in Jacksonville. Knew his reputation, and I crossed paths with his daddy, even back in the 70s. So
Yeah.
Sheriff Book. So
Sheriff
anyway, we'll have him in here, and I got him in here because he was a very active, proactive.
Right.
He hates illegal drugs on the streets, and he set up and worked diligently for a number of years now with other municipalities in the county and with other departments outside the county. I think Onslow is in it. Jones, Craven, I don't know who else, but they have a joint. Let's get together and talk about the illegal drugs. Because the thing about drug dealers, they don't have jurisdictions. They don't have to stop at the county line. They can go from one city to the other, and somebody needs to be overall looking at them, and that's what they're doing. So Asa was involved heavily in setting that stuff up from the beginning, and he has a passion for it. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time, law enforcement officer in our area.
Well respected.
Well respected, yes.
So we'll have him in here. So
yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, I'll be talking with Asa Buck in the morning.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a chance to talk about the Red Springs police chief that just recently resigned. I'd like to talk about her tomorrow if we get a minute.
Well, we got another one, police chief who resigned from Pitt County, Greenville. I think he
retired. Retired after 30 years or something like that. I had to get something on that. He retired.
Our police chief here, after 2 years, he's put his notice in, so he's out there in a couple of weeks, maybe next week or week after.
Last night was his last city council meeting. I know he was sitting there going, "Thank the Lord."
Oh God, I won't have to put up with his mess again. Well, yeah, you will too. You're going to Boca Raton, and you're talking about politics.
They picked on him. They said you got heat and mosquitoes.
Huh?
Bye.
Okay. Anyway, I want to get Deputy Chief Ashley Weaver in here and have a chat with her if they will allow it. I'm sure they will shortly.
We'll have to get up with Sarah.
She's the interim.
Yes.
And I'd like to have her
Bring
in here.
her in here.
She's the interim chief.
I just want to say thank you, Robbie, for covering for me this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie.
I appreciate that.
Good questions for
I
Wally.
forgot what time Rayford said. I thought he said 8 or 8:30, so I jumped in the shower, and then I realized I saw your truck leaving, and I went, "Oh shoot!" So
I had left messages on Facebook and YouTube. Everybody call Rayford. I have to run for a minute.
Well, it's fine.
It took longer in traffic than it did actually taking the.
I can deal with the running my mouth for an hour,
you're very
2
good
hours.
at that.
Not a problem.
You're very good
I got things to say. If you don't want to hear them, call me so I don't have to keep talking.
You should talk about all the things I don't want to hear about while I'm gone.
It's not as much fun. I'd rather get the stink eye. What do you call that? The stink eye? Stink eye.
The stink side eye.
you guys are funny.
I had to read a joke from Drew this morning.
It was funny. I listened to part of it before I had to get out of the truck, but yeah.
He posted it.
He posted that last night.
She shared it.
I was dying. It was so cute. It was really good.
I had to read it.
Yes.
It's funny. It's good. Talked about men going shopping after they retired and go shopping with their wives.
Yes. The things they do
good thing.
The things they do to occupy themselves, like going to Target. And when a woman goes into Target, she's there for a while. So it talked about what her husband was doing to take up the time, and they eventually got banned from Target. Both of them.
Well, he had he had things that entertained him. Yes. When we retire, we look for something to do.
He was going around. He took like a case of condoms, and he was sneaking them in people's carts when they weren't looking. Now, could you imagine getting up to the checkout and you're like, what? Yeah. And he was doing all sorts. It was really, really funny.
I like the one that they get to the dressing room. Of course, everybody watches. Then he hollers out, "There's no toilet paper in here."
I know. Said a clerk passed out. Stressful.
See what you could be putting up with? That's why she won't take me anywhere.
No, she knows better.
Okay, we will see you in the morning. Thank you guys for tolerating me and us, and thank Robbie for coming in here.
Yes, thank
you, Robbie. Always a pleasure. I was trying to wait for an ad to pop back up here because I wanted whatever, but it's gone. It hasn't popped up again. So anyway,
we're leaving.
All right, we'll see you in the morning.
Bye.
You're live in Local Real Talk where we're awake.
Never
Finally, not woke. We'll see you in the morning. Bye. Have a great day. Be safe.